It's up to you.
All right.
Do you want me to wait?
It's fine. We're already live. We're already live, so we can just do it.
All right. If you want to, you can just hop up and anything. But
yeah.
Alrighty, everybody. Welcome in and welcome back to another episode of the Going the Distance podcast. My name is Ryan Bonnell, and alongside me is my co-host Elijah Span. We are currently live on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, all that jazz. We got a good episode planned for you guys. NBA Finals are finally upon us. No pun intended there. The Celtics and the Warriors will face off sooner rather than later, and we're going to be covering that as well as Darren Orlovsky's quarterback tier list. Get a little bit of football action in there, of course, like we always try to do. And then the slap heard around the world, which I don't want to spoil it yet, but Tommy fan smacked the shit out of Jock Peterson. So we'll get to that at the end of the episode. And, of course, love it or loathe it. But before we get into it, be sure to follow us on social media over at GTD_sports. Other than TikTok, where we're at gtdsports.com. You can follow Elijah and I's personal accounts as you see on the screen. We are at Ryan Bonnell 8 and at Elijah Span 19. And, one more I'm forgetting. Yes, use the code GTDS125 at BetUS Sportsbook. If you use that code or sign up through our link over on our website, you can get up to a 125% deposit bonus. So be sure to take advantage of that. I did so myself, made a little bit of money out of it, and bada bing, bada boom. Yeah, so all right, before we get into the nitty-gritty, we're going to start things off like we normally do with a little bit of highlight and low light. Elijah, what do you got for us from this last week?
Yeah, so highlight is that the Rangers are a decently good baseball team. We moved into 500, 24-24 last night against the Rays. Sir. And I was like, hell yeah. This is probably been, I want to say 7 years probably since we've been 500 this late in the season. I mean, I can't say that for sure, but especially definitely in the last 5.
I'm gonna look up the MLB standings fully because like I have an idea of like who's doing what, but like not like exactly like the visuals. So I wonder where exactly
we're third in the West.
Okay, that's only 3 games back behind the Angels.
Yeah,
dude, the Angels at one point had like one of the top 3 records in the league.
Last night we were 3 games back behind the second wild card, but I mean it's so early. It's
ridiculously early. Yeah. I'm just talking about in terms of like our division,
Yeah, I'm just glad that we're not complete dog shit though. Like I'll take 500. I will gladly take 500. And like
I'm very happy with it.
I've been really liking because I've been watching this almost every day. Probably every other day. Yeah.
I respect it.
And we're a fun team, dude. We're good. Like we got a lot of young talent that's only going to get better.
I follow along on Twitter, like with the games, but I need to start watching more.
Oh, dude, it's just I can just put it on and like do something else, or just actually watch it. Most of the time, I just actually watch it.
See, I know we've talked about it before, but my main thing is just that it's so fucking hard to watch the games. Like, I don't want to have to turn on a goddamn illegal stream every time just to watch it, because if I wanted to watch like crack streams or something, that's going to be on my PC. And half the time I would want to work while I'm watching the game, like have it on the background, and then my work is on my PC. So like, it just kind of deters me from watching the game. But I could find a way, I'm sure. Do you know how much like MLB TV and all that is?
Well, if you get MLB TV, you can't stream the Rangers because we're in the blackout market. You can when you move to Arizona. When you move to Arizona, you could.
Okay.
But you wouldn't be able to watch Diamondbacks games.
Well, I mean I'm okay with that.
I don't know.
I'll probably be going to a lot of Diamondbacks games.
Hell yeah.
I'm looking at like 2 apartments right now. I've been applying. I've officially applied to them and stuff. It's been a headache, but one of them is quite literally like, so here's the street, here's Chase Field, here's the apartment building. So it would be like a walk to the park every single time. That would be
sick.
Yeah,
that would be sick.
The only bad thing is that one is an 18-minute walk to my classes, so which is like could be worse. I'll just ride a bike or something. So,
yeah.
Alrighty then. What else you got for us?
Lowlight, R.I.P. Marion Barber, former Dallas Cowboys running back, Marion the Barbarian. He died. I guess it got released today. I'm not exactly sure when it happened, but I don't know.
I saw I saw the headline like 5 minutes before we got on here.
Yeah. But in honor of Marion Barber, I want to play this clip right here.
All right, bet. I'll share the screen.
Here, I'll do it. Yeah. Share.
I think you can. Yeah, you'll probably be able to do it. Do you need me to give access, or here I can add it? There we go. There we go. All right, pull that thing up, cuh.
I did. You can see it?
Yeah, it's split with your notes though.
Oh.
Just full screen it. Yeah. Oh, what do we got here? See, I'm not a Cowboys guy. Of course, I know Marion Barber, but I probably don't remember any like iconic Barber moments.
Dude.
Okay, okay.
That was a 2-yard run.
2-yard run,
but that's how he played, dude. That's how he played. He just broke tackles. He was a tough motherfucker.
Well, that's kind of trippy.
Yeah.
That was kind of trippy to look at.
But yeah, no. So that's how he played things out, dude. He's just a beast, and that's without a doubt the greatest 2-yard run in NFL history. So he owns that. That's us. That's ours, by the way. So, but yeah, no. Sad to see him go.
It is very sad. He was only what, like in his 30s or 40s?
Yeah. Said he was 38.
Yikes, man. Well, I mean, I guess I'll go ahead and start out with my low light from this week, just since we're also on the topic of death.
R.I.P.
I guess, yeah. R.I.P. Jeff Gladney. He was a former TCU Horned Frog, so I watched his college career throughout from start to finish. He was a first-round draft pick, former All-American. He had a little bit of off-field issues at the start of his NFL career, but it seemed like he had found his way back and was trying to do it the right way, and was signed by the Cardinals over the offseason to a 2-year deal, looking like he was going to get a starting spot, and then got in a car accident this past weekend. So, yeah, rest in peace. Only 25 years old, so not to put a damper on the episode, but just
I watched the Super Bowl with Gladney. That Pats Rams Super Bowl. He was there at our watch party.
Oh, really? At the watch party?
Yeah. He smoked a blunt with my roommate.
That's pretty funny, actually. He was a very well-liked guy, you know. Like, although I didn't really have any like media interactions with him personally, but like I have friends that used to and stuff. So, and only good things were said about him. So
yeah, he's a chill guy.
Yeah, and plus he's one of the best TC defenders of all time, like without a doubt. But alrighty, now on a less depressing note, my highlight from this past week is I discovered, of course, I feel like I bring up MLB The Show every so often on the podcast, but I discovered Road to the Show, because normally all I grind is Diamond Dynasty, but I tried out Road to the Show. I created a 2-way player. I'm a second baseman and a closing pitcher, not a starting pitcher, because that would just take too long, I felt like. So it's been pretty fun. But the only negative is apparently whenever you do a 2-way like that, it makes it really hard to upgrade your player. And so, like, even though I was raking with like a 4.67 batting average, I took 2 full seasons in the minors to get called up. But yeah, that was frustrating. But now I'm on the Rockies, and it's been really addicting. And speaking of baseball, also I'm heading to College Station this weekend to work the NCAA tournament, because TCU qualified for the regionals there. So I'm getting ready to hear all the have you seen A&M's tradition with like the ball 5, ball 5, ball? Oh, dude, I hate it, but it's one of the best traditions in college sports. Like, literally, after a pitcher's thrown 4 balls in a row on ball 5, the whole stadium is just tomahawk chopping ball 5.
You mean ball 4?
5. Yeah, well, right after the 4th one.
They'll do the 4th one? So after he gives a walk.
Yeah, to like for a streak. Yeah. And then they'll just add one. Like, as soon as it hits, it'll go ball 6, then ball 7. And like, I've seen it get up to like ball 13 before, because it just gets in people's heads, bro. They can't do shit. Like,
oh, I do remember this. I do remember this now. Yeah, that's hilarious.
It is, yeah. But as a TCU fan, I'm not too worried because TCU owns the Aggies come postseason. So yeah, that'll be fun. But now let's get down to what we came to talk about. And that's the NBA, that's the finals. But before we get into the finals, I, as a Heat fan, and Elijah, you can say what you want about the Mavs as well, but I mean, y'all's was kind of down for the count already.
I already
Yeah,
had my piece last week.
yeah,
So
fair. So I don't know if I want to call this like a rant. It's just a slight little rant. I just have a few things to say about what went down in that series. So first off, my favorite player, Tyler Hero. What the fuck happened, bro? All this random quad injury comes out of nowhere. There's like no details on it. He's supposed to come back from game 4. He doesn't. He's supposed to come back from game 5. Doesn't. Then he plays in game 7 for the first time since game 2, plays for like 2 minutes, and then goes back out and puts sweats on. So it's like, if you're going to play, are you going to play? Like, I was confused with that. It was very frustrating. I guess I can't really knock him for being hurt, but it makes me think how different that series would have been having our number 2 scorer, literally who averages 21 points a game on the court. So that really hurt us down the stretch. And another shooter, we got Max Strus. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know whether I should be proud or mad because he was inconsistent as fuck. He made some plays where you're like, holy shit, how did an undrafted free agent do that, And then other times it's like, Jesus Christ, Max, please stop shooting. You've missed your last 15 field goal attempts. So, yeah. And then the biggest one probably for me is Kyle fucking Lyle. I just said Kyle fucking Lyle. I just read Kyle as I said it. But Kyle fucking Lowry. We literally signed him for his veteran experience and playoff leadership, and it just wasn't there. He maybe had one good game. I think in game 5 he had like 18 points, but he just didn't show up. He went 0 for 10, 0 points in one of the games. It was just what?
He was playing hurt.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, but he came back though. He rested.
Right?
Yeah, I think it was a hamstring. Yeah. May have been a
tough.
quad too, because it seems like everything's been a quad for the Heat. Because Strus was a quad
fat.
as well.
There's a lot of pressure put on his legs.
You're right. He's a little chonky dude, but it was just frustrating. And if he couldn't play, then he should have taken himself out. Like instead of damage the team. But c'est la vie. And then my big bright spot is Jimmy Butler is my Lord and Savior. Shout out Jimmy, because without him, we would not have even taken that game to 7. We wouldn't have even gotten to the Eastern Conference Finals. But he's the real deal. Playoff Jimmy. We've said it time and time again. But what I want to talk about and what I want to get your take on as well is, did you see, I assume probably by now you've seen the shot. Game 7, the Heat were down by 13 with less than 3 minutes left. They went on an 11-0 run, 98-96. Jimmy Butler gets a steal, drives down one-on-one, and it elects to pull up and shoot a three-pointer rather than taking it to the hole. So was that three-pointer the right shot there at the end? I want to get your take first.
I just think that Jimmy's the only guy that you can go to in that situation, and you have to ride or die what he decides right there. Like, he is the Heat. He is like your fucking Heat culture, as stupid as I think that shit is.
No, it's real, bro. It's real.
Like Jimmy Butler is the guy for Miami, like no
guy.
doubt. So like it'd be the same thing if Reggie Bullock took that shot for the Mavs, I would be like, what the hell is going on?
The fan base would go ballistic. Yeah,
they would go ballistic. Even if he made it, I'd be like, dude, like give the ball to Luka no matter what. I mean, Jimmy Butler the same way. So like, yeah, I don't really have a problem with it because he has that right, because he is the guy.
Yeah, I totally agree in that sense. Like, my answer is both yes and no in terms of was it the right shot. So I think yes for all the reasons you just said. Like, Jimmy literally put the team on his back multiple times throughout this series. So he had every right to pull that bitch if he wanted to. But the reason I'll say no is scenario-wise, I mean, he had the one-on-one. That's his thing. He could take it to the hole all day, drive with contact, make a tough finish. That's what Jimmy Butler does. And also, he's not a three-point shooter. Like, I get He shot well this series. He I think he had 2 or 3 in Game 7 and like 4 of them in Game 6. Like he was shooting well, but that's still not his shot, especially on the run like that. Jimmy shoots threes well whenever he shoots in rhythm. Like he grabs it, has time to follow through, use his legs. That's way better than him shooting on the run. So it was very frustrating. Like once the shot was going up, I was like, oh my God, Jimmy did it. But then it missed, and I was like, fuck, Jimmy. Like, why? So it was just one of those things. But I think all in all, you're right that you have to ride or die with him. Like, you just got to accept that he was feeling it. I mean, we were on an 11-0 run. You know, the momentum was all in our favor. If anything, like, it seemed like we were going to make the shot just because we were hot. So I get his mindset, but personally, I just wish. I guess I can't say that because I was about to say I wish he would have just drove, but looking back, if he had drove, we could have gone to overtime and lost still. Like, like you'll never know. May have taken that risk just because. So, c'est la vie. It is what it is. And last thing I want to say about the Heat Celtics series is fuck Derek White because he looks like expired asparagus, and also fuck Jalen Brown for being really good at finishing the basketball. That's all I gotta say because he literally made everything, it seemed like, and it was frustrating. Like anytime he gets in the paint and is going up, it's going in somehow.
Yep,
it's going in.
Pretty much.
But alrighty though, let's move on. I'll go ahead and hand it off to you. Let's talk about how the Warriors got here now.
I mean, I just want to talk about like their journey. Like each team has a really good story of how they got into the finals. Like the Warriors, they were pretty much gone for 2 years. Everybody thought that the dynasty was over. Like their third guy was Andrew Wiggins of all people.
Who's now worked out very well for them.
And so now they're back. It's their sixth finals in 8 years, right?
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. And I don't know. I just think it's really cool. Like Clay's back. Steph is as hot as ever. I mean, he was a flamethrower in the Mavs series. He was unstoppable.
I mean, that's Steph in the playoffs for you.
Yeah. So I just think that's kind of crazy. They were the 3 seeds, but like when they started off hot, everyone's like, Warriors are back. Warriors are going to the finals, and then they kind of tapered off a little bit, and everyone was talking about Phoenix. That turned out not so well for Phoenix, and then there was only the Warriors left, pretty much. Like, I don't know. I was drinking the Kool-Aid when I was talking about that Mavs-Warriors series. Like,
I mean, it's fair enough. I get it. You just beat the 1 seed, the best record in the league.
I was feeling hot, but I should have known that the playoff experience of the Warriors was just going to be way too much. Like, Steve Kerr, best coach in the, like, what do you say, top 3 or the
He's top 3? It's hard to like say guaranteed best 3. Honestly, if I had to pick best 3, I'd say Popovich, Kerr, and Spoelstra probably.
I agree with that list.
Just
100%.
in my opinion, I think so.
So top 3 NBA coach in the league for the past 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's been those 3 guys. So I don't know. It's kind of crazy that they're back here again, but like I like it because of no KD.
I was just about to say, it's a totally different vibe than like their last 3 or 4 finals appearances, just because there's no snake shit. It seems like they kind of earned it in a way after having those 2 bad years. But the irony of it, of the whole situation, is that those 2 years worked out so well for the Warriors, bro. They got James Wiseman. They got Jordan Poole, who's now an absolute stud, a rising star. Mm-hmm. And also picked up Andrew Wiggins in the process. It's just somehow they're probably even better. Actually, I can't say that, no, because they went 73-9, but they're right back there. They're right back to where they were. I remember at the All-Star break, you and I predicted or made mid-season finals predictions, and I'm feeling pretty good because I had the Warriors, but I also did say the Heat. So I was 1 game away on a perfect prediction, but
it's not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take that. So I was buying in on the hype. I really because you and I were both super big on the Warriors at the beginning of the season because we were like, holy shit, like they're playing really good. And I bought the hype. So kind of cool to see him back here in the non-villain role, I would say. I don't really think either team has a villain role in this year's finals because Seems like a lot of people are rooting for the Celtics as well, just because of Tatum and Brown.
Yeah, I mean, talk about the Celtics too. How they got here. I mean, they were on the verge of blowing this thing up. Fuck, the Lightning are losing.
Losing a bet right now.
Yeah, 2-4. That's not gonna happen.
I mean, they were an 11 seed, bro, at one point.
Yeah.
The Celtics?
Yeah.
They were down at the
Celtics
10 seed at All-Star break.
And then they turned their shit around. They remembered who they were. I don't know. I just think it's crazy because, like, they kind of Tatum and Brown experiment. A lot of people were saying, like, it's failing. Are we going to blow up the Celtics? Like, are we going to trade Brown, just build around Tatum, see what happens? And then I guess Brad Stevens just decided, no, we're going to stick to this team. We're going to run it back, and it's worked out.
And also Marcus Smart has just worked out phenomenally for them as well. But
true.
Dude, I think Jalen Brown is crucially underrated. Just like, not crucially, criminally underrated. That's a better term. I think he is arguably the best finisher at the rim in the NBA. I think he's one of the best number twos in the NBA as well. I think more people need to talk about him in terms of like all-star caliber players, because I honestly, like, I know Tatum gets a lot of hype, and deservedly so. I really don't think there's that big of a drop off between Tatum and Brown. And
really,
you can call me crazy, but I mean, just watching that series too, like, dude, Brown just does stuff that Tatum can't, like, in terms of taking it to the hole. But also, granted, Tatum does shit that Brown can't. Tatum makes those fadeaways, those tough shots, just pulls it up whenever he's feeling himself with a hand in the face. So I'm not saying like they're right next to each other in terms of like ranking, but I think that people need to give Brown a little bit more respect overall. But in terms of the duo, though, like, let's not compare the duo themselves. Let's compare one duo to another. Clay and Steph versus Tatum and Brown. Who do you think is more, like, not better, but crucial to the team?
Dude, that's such a hard question, too.
It is.
I think I'd have to go with Tatum and Brown, though, because they live and die by Tatum and Brown. Like,
they do.
The Warriors, Wiggins has pulled through by guarding Luka against the Mavs. Jordan Poole, like you said, ascending. He's a flamethrower himself. And they also got Draymond, who does everything.
Yeah.
So they don't they don't need Clay to be old Clay to win this series. They do need Steph. No doubt about that.
They do.
But they don't need old Clay. They can get by with this version of Klay Thompson. So I'm gonna go for that reason. I'm gonna go with Tatum and Brown, because they need those guys to be at their best if they want to win, and that's like non-negotiable.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And again, just reiterating, it's not that I think they're better duo, but they are definitely more vital to the team, because without them, bro, what are you gonna have Marcus Smart leading your offense? Like, being the one to create shots? No, like, honestly, I'd rather have Al Horford with the ball in his hands. Just give it to him down low every time. See what he can do. See if he can dish it out. But I mean, really, your best options would be Derek White, Al Horford, Marcus Smart, after you take those guys out. So I will say the C's are pretty deep, though, man. They got some depth. Like, Peyton Pritchard, bro, as like the 10th man is nuts, dude. He makes some plays. He makes some splash, even though he looks like, I don't even know, dude. It looks like an extraterrestrial narc. Like, if you've seen it, he just looks like somebody that would snitch on everything, but also looks like an alien at the same time. Like, I don't know. That's just what I see when I look at him. Weird looking dude, but very good at basketball. He can make threes.
Yeah.
A lot more than I can make. But
yeah, I mean, hopefully Robert Williams can play and be healthy, or else the series is the Warriors.
Yeah, I think that he is going to be a big part too. But I honestly think it's really going to be whether or not the Celtics duo can keep up with mostly Steph scoring. Like, I don't even know if the Steph and Clay duo is really the duo anymore. I would arguably say that Jordan Poole is more of a threat to the Celtics than Klay Thompson is in this series.
Interesting. I mean, like, probably, yeah. I mean, I could see it.
Because, like, he's not the same Clay, and it's not like he's washed or anything. He still is a big part of the team. He's a starter, obviously, but I don't know. I don't want to like say that definitively, but I feel like Jordan Poole could end up averaging more points a game and being a bigger threat to him.
I could see that, but I don't know. I mean, Clay also dished out 8 threes in Game 5 against the Mavs. So I mean, those nights.
I was about to say he does just have those nights. Usually it's in Game 6s where he just goes off, but yeah, you never know. But Clay, that's just what he does right now. Is he's just been knocking down shots when he needs to, not playing amazing defense because he's not really expected to. But yeah, so one thing I do want to say though that I just found super funny. I've been seeing it in the media a lot about now this matchup, and there were rumors before the matchup was solidified that now that the Celtics made it to the finals, it is a 76-year streak of former New York Knicks players making finals appearances. This year it is Luke Cornett. So honestly, don't even know who Luke Cornett is. The NBA hardos may get on to me, but I mean, it extends the streak, so that's one thing to look forward to, at least, I guess. That's like basically the entire career of the NBA, or what's the word? Tenure? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Tenure, the existence.
Yeah, existence. Yeah. There we go.
Another stat like that too. The last time a team went into their 6th finals appearance in 8 years, it was the Los Angeles Lakers, and they lost to the Chicago Bulls, who kicked off their first championship.
That's surprising, honestly. I would have thought that the last team to do it would have been the Celtics. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Are we good?
Okay, cool.
Might have a bit of an audio delay.
You just kind of froze. Your video froze for a second, but we're good.
Try refreshing.
But yeah, it's I think that's pretty crazy that we have 2 of those. So yeah, let me do that real quick.
All right, yeah, I'll take over for a second. But yeah, all right. So we're gonna keep talking about this series a little bit more before we get into our full-on predictions. And here's Elijah back. All right.
Yep.
What were you saying, Elijah? We can go back.
Just about the 8th finals in 6 years, and that's kind of crazy that it's another stat to point that it's gonna be like the Celtics, because I think with the Knicks one, it's also like the team that had the former Knick has won like for the past 20 something years or something like that. I saw that also.
I don't know, not like it may be like the majority, but not like in a row. Because I mean, J.R. Smith was the Knick for 4 of those years, like in the last 8, and he lost 3 of them. So
I think Golden State might have had a former Knick. I don't know. Either way,
they may have too. I don't know. I just remember J.R. Smith for sure off the top of my head. But yeah, that is weird. What I was saying too, while there was a little bit of Wi-Fi cut out, was that I'm surprised it was the Lakers to go 6 for 8. Or like 6 out of the last 8, in a streak. I thought it would have been the Celtics, back in their dominant run when they made 17, I think, finals. Won 17 championships.
Yeah, but that was way before. That was when the NBA was a farmers league. So
that's true. Yeah. Alrighty though, continuing on with this series preview. Who, if you had to pick one or the other, because obviously this is the best asset of both teams' games, you got Boston's defense, mostly their perimeter defense, or the Golden State 3-ball. Who do you think wins that matchup?
I mean, it's the best versus the best on this one. It's the best
it is.
NBA.
It really is. Because
the
Heat, I consider the Heat a pretty good shooting team. And they absolutely dicked us in a few of those games, bro. Like, we were 5 for 47 from three-point land in Game 6, or Game 5, that it was.
Yeah, the Celtics opponents are averaging 31.7% from 3 in these playoffs, and which is better than what they had in the regular season, which was 33%, and that was the best in the NBA. Mm-hmm. So they're even playing better defense right now in the playoffs. So, like, I don't know, man. It's hard to say who's going to win this one out, but I think I could say that the perimeter D is definitely going to slow down Golden State a lot more than they've been this entire playoffs.
Yeah, I think it might rattle them a little bit. I don't know if it's going to like completely throw them off their game, but it'll definitely play a part. If I had to pick one or the other, I mean, I think I got to go with Golden State's threes just because Steph doesn't just make open threes. You know, Steph is going to make it in your face. He's going to pull it from 10 feet out. Like, he's going to do some crazy shit. Same thing with Clay even. I'm mostly on the fast breaks. But, I mean, that is such a tough choice because, like you said, you're right. It is truly the number one against the number one in these categories. So I think this is going to come down to basically what the entire playoffs this year has come down to, and that's who has had the better shooting day. You know, because it seems like who's won. You saw it mostly in the Heat and Celtics series because it was literally just back and forth. Which team had the better first quarter or which team had the better third quarter at a halftime? And that was it. It was all based on shooting. Like there was I don't think a single loss occurred where the losing team had a higher shooting percentage. So obviously that's like no duh. You got to shoot the ball well to win games, but it's just been so drastic of differences throughout this playoffs. And I think we're going to see that again with Golden State and Boston, mostly Golden State because they live and die by the three.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could even say that this series could come down to Marcus Smart and how he guards Steph.
Dude, to say that this series is going to be decided by Marcus Smart, though, is wild. But
Marcus Smart's defense. Marcus Smart's defense.
No, but think about it. Also, his offense, because Marcus Smart has a bad habit, and you can I've talked to a few Celtics fans about it, too. Like, if he makes his first three-pointer, then he's going to shoot like 12 threes that day. Maybe not 12. I'm exaggerating. But he's just going to keep filling himself. He's going to shoot. He's going to shoot dumb shots. But if he misses his first couple shots, then he's very passive. He's more of a facilitator. And that's what they want. They don't need him jacking up threes all the time. So yeah. I think Marcus Smart could actually play a huge role in how this series goes, on both ends. Because obviously his defense on Steph is going to be massive. And then whether or not he's efficient on offense is going to be pretty big for him too.
Which is going to be hit or miss. He's going to win him a couple games. He's going to lose him a couple games.
Exactly. Yeah, like that's what he did for the Heat in the Heat series too. He had like a couple 22-point games, 21, like, but then others where he was like 3 for 14. So yeah.
He's going to be left open.
Probably.
And he's going to shoot it.
If
he's open, he's going to be like, all right, fuck you, I'm open.
Yeah.
So
he's not one to shy away from that.
But okay. What's our picks? So we're going to do this with gambling.
Yeah. Rather than just picking who we think's going to win. We're sports bettors, so we'll do it the sports betting way. We got some finals picks for you. Of course, the series price overall is Golden State are minus 160 favorites with Boston as the underdog at plus 135 to win the whole thing. So, Elijah, I'll hand it off to you first. I'm curious to hear your picks. Let's see where you're rocking with for this finals. This is basically like an extended Super Bowl of the NBA, you know?
Yeah.
It's a lot more to bet on.
I've got Boston to win series plus 135. And I know I've been talking about how great the Warriors are and how much I like the Warriors, but the masses are asses. Like 90% of the public money is going on.
Really?
80 or 90 of the percentage of the bets is going on the Warriors.
Yikes.
So for that reason, when everybody's zigging, I'm zagging. You know, that's usually my philosophy. That's what I do. And I don't know. I just think that this is a very winnable series for both teams. And I like the plus money, so that's what I got. That's what I bet.
See, we'll go back and forth now because I also have a series bet. So I don't really want to bet it because the odds are so steep, but my brain is just telling me to hammer Warriors minus 160 because I don't think there's any way the Celtics win the series. I think they can take it to 7, but I just don't see them beating the Warriors, beating that experience, beating Steph, beating Steve Kerr with the first-year head coach. So Obviously, betting minus 160 on the Warriors is tough. So I'd rather bet, make it a little bit more fun too, is an exact series price for the Warriors to win it in 6. So Warriors to win 4-2, and the odds on that are plus 280. So you get a little bit of juice with it too.
So I have a little bit of counter argument to your experience because the Celtics themselves are no strangers to the playoffs. They just haven't
You're
made
right,
it to
the
the finals
playoffs,
yet.
but they're strangers to the finals.
The strangers to the finals, yes, but I don't think the atmosphere is going to be that much different from the rest of the playoffs. So, if it was the Mavs in this series, then I would say, yeah, kind of like Mavs versus Warriors last series. Obviously, their experience prevailed, but I don't know. I mean, yeah, Warriors have a leg up, but I wouldn't say it's going to be a huge deciding factor.
I think, I don't know, it's tough, but overall I would say that the Warriors is a tougher place to play than Miami, like in Golden State. So
True.
crowd might be a little bit more of a factor. But no, I mean, you're right. Overall, like if they've been playing in the playoffs, they should be fine to just, same pressure's there. But then again, it's the finals. The ring is on the line, for these players like Tatum, like it's been something he's been out for like 4 years now and never been able to cross that barrier. Well, now he has. Is he going to take advantage of it, or are they going to crash and burn type thing? So, who are you going with for MVP though? You got any picks there?
Yeah, so this is strictly value play because we talked about how important Marcus Smart is, but Marcus Smart to win Finals MVP plus 4,100. So you bet $10, that's $410 in your pocket.
I mean, if we're talking value, that is a lot of value.
That's why. I mean, it's probably gonna be Jason Tatum if the Celtics win.
Yeah, like
but
90% chance. Yeah.
I see that big fat plus sign, and I'm attracted to it. There's no other way to put it. Sexually.
I didn't mark it down, but I guess if I had to go with a value pick, I would say Jordan Poole, Finals MVP, plus 2,200. He could have a big series, I think. But I also made an MVP pick, and it's the boring pick. It's not fun, but I went Steph Curry MVP, plus 105, almost even odds. But if the Warriors win the series, Steph is going to win MVP. It's just they go hand in hand. It's basically like betting on the Warriors to win the series, just with not as steep of odds. So, all right, what else you got?
I have let's see. Oh, bet series to go to 7 plus 185. And then Curry over 27.5 points per game in the series.
That's Curry over. I think Curry over 27.5 is definitely a safe bet.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of hard. 27.5 is a lot, but he might average 30.
Oh, my dad just texted me that the stream died, but I literally see it on my phone. It's all right. I think we're still good. We're still live, hopefully. Maybe somebody comment, because I think we have like at least a couple of people watching. All right, anyway, on my last couple bets as well, I'm going – this one's a fun one too. Rob Williams, this is strictly value play in my opinion, because obviously it's probably going to end up being Al Horford or potentially Kevon Looney. But I'm going with Robert Williams, most rebounds in the series at plus 800 odds. I think it's pretty juicy. If Rob Williams gets a lot of minutes, he's going to be really aggressive. So I think that's worth a shot, maybe a little quick tenor on it. And then this one's really fun, but might be really stupid. Last but not least, I got any player to score 50-plus points in any game at plus 900 odds. So very unlikely that it happens in the finals, but I would not be surprised to see a Jason Tatum or a Steph Curry 50-point game. So
I would say Tatum's more likely to do it than Curry.
Curry
has more guys to rely on.
Yeah.
Tatum might just put the team on his back.
Exactly. I think so too. So I think that's worth a quick little $10 as well. Turn it into 90. Quick little flip. Bada bing, bada boom. Done. But all right. And then last but not least on our little preview for the finals is our combined starting five. Now, this was just to have some fun, but at first I thought there might be room for debate. But it looks like Elijah and I are pretty much on the same page, but I ended up tweaking mine just a little bit. So I'll let you go ahead and start it off, Elijah.
Yeah.
And then I'll explain my altered philosophy.
Curry and Brown at the backcourt. I got Tatum and Draymond. and Robert Williams is the 5.
Yeah, I feel like that's the clear-cut starting 5. That's normally what I would go with, but I kind of just for the sake of the podcast wanted to shake it up a little bit. So I also got Curry and Brown at the 1 and 2, and I know it's not his position, not much of the small forward, but I put Clay at small forward just to get him in there. And then I got Jason Tatum at the 4 because I feel like he's big enough. He can get the rebounds. He can play defense as well. And then you got to have a solid 5. You got to have a big man. I was tempted to put Draymond in there at the 5 and play small ball, but that's just too small ball. So give me Robert Williams.
That's what I would have done if I'm going that small. Like
honestly, you're right. Maybe
with
even
Clay in there, I'm throwing in Draymond. Like no doubt about it.
No, yeah, honestly, you're right. Yeah, swap that. Get rid of Robert Williams in mine. So I got Curry, Brown, Clay, Tatum, and Draymond. So that would be mine. Yeah, two Celtics, 2 Warriors. Quite literally the most famous players on each team. So
okay. All right,
not much of a shock there, but all right, you want to take us into some football, Elijah?
Yeah, could you screen share? You have a little bit better screen sharing capabilities than I am. Just look up Dan Orlovsky's tier list.
Yeah, I got
and then it should show up.
Dan Orlovsky tier list. See, this is gonna be like a raw reaction for me. This is the ranking quarterback tiers, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Okay.
And then it should.
Is it on like the Philly Voice? Or should be on what?
Should be. Check his. Let's see.
Do you have the link?
Let me check his Twitter. It was everywhere for a second.
I mean, I found it. It's just 2 tweets though. Is that it?
Yeah, probably.
Like the one where it says QBs you win games because of in the NFL and QBs you win games with.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I can share that. All right, let's see it then. Sorry, folks, having a little bit of technicalities. So if you're watching the YouTube or the Twitch or the Twitter, you'll be able to see this. But if you're listening, probably not. Where is the Chrome tab? All right, there we go. Here we are. Let me just zoom in on it a little bit before we get into it. Oh, this damn ad in the corner. All right, how's that, Elijah? Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
All right, so we'll start out with this one. This is a raw reaction for me. Elijah is the one that brought this up. I have not seen this yet, so let's see how we feel about it. We always like to get a little bit of football in there, of course. So this is our off-season fun for this week. Elijah, you go ahead and start us off.
So I actually want to start with who's not on the list so we can explain about who's on.
Okay.
So go to the second tier list.
Gotcha. Okay,
so
yeah.
You win with, I guess the other guys he just left off because they're just not important. He's got most of the league in here, though. Mac Jones, win with, agree. Tua, I would hope so with the weapons that he has, but I'm still not sold on Tua as a pro.
I'm still not either, yeah.
Baker Mayfield, I mean, look, dude, I've been a Baker supporter, but no team literally wanted him at all, so that makes me think otherwise. Ryan Tannehill, 100%, I agree that you can win with Ryan Tannehill. That's been proven. Matt Ryan, 100%, you can win with. Dak Prescott on the win with category and not on the win because of category is, I don't know, man.
That's tough.
I just don't know about that one.
I respect Dak a lot, and I think he deserved a lot more credit, especially at the beginning of his career, than even some Cowboys fans gave him. But that is tough because most of his career, too, they've had one of the best offenses in the league. They've had a solid O-line. They've had great weapons at the receiver position. Mark Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, especially this past year. Zeke, at the beginning of his career especially, took a huge load off for Dak. Now you got Tony Pollard, even for the double-headed threat out of the backfield. I don't know. That's an interesting slot.
and that's why I argued it that you win with, because like Dak struggled at times last year after he injured his calf. But we've definitely won games because of Dak Prescott. Like that is
for sure,
without a doubt. I mean, you could just point to our season without him when we were terrible. So like
when Andy Dalton took over, baby, that's my guy.
Yeah.
Well, actually, for like 2 games, and then bend the news.
So that's why I disagree with Dak Prescott being on the win with. Kirk Cousins, you could win with him. 100%. Jameis, yes, I agree with that one as well. Kyler Murray on the win with, yes.
That's tough.
Dude, I just don't believe in him.
See, you're right. 'Cause I was about to say based on just like pure ability and potential, but like he's been in the league long enough now where we're tired. We're done talking about potential. So like, because I was gonna say based on some of the plays he makes, like the things he can do, he's capable of. Like, that would win you games, but he hasn't necessarily gone out and done anything to like secure those crucial wins for his team necessarily.
Like, has he done a lot of cool shit and made a lot of cool plays? Yeah,
hell
absolutely.
Yeah.
But as far as like winning game plays, like I don't remember. I mean, show me any close Cardinals games where Kyler Murray
was a huge.
I want to see. I'm sure there's maybe some, but not enough to win because of where Kyler Murray just overtook the game.
Oh, I mean, other than maybe like I don't know, heaving it downfield to DeAndre Hopkins for a Hail Mary to win it, like, but that doesn't count,
Yeah, that's more D-Hop than anything.
That's DeAndre Hopkins winning the game.
That was a prayer. So
yeah, I guess I can see that. I definitely kind of lean towards that as well with Kyler Murray, and then Jimmy Garoppolo, of course. He's definitely,
he is the epitome of a guy you can win with,
and not win you games himself. Yeah, because he is. It's the definition of a game manager. Also, just for clarification, those listening in, these lists are 2 separate lists by Dan Orlovsky, and the one we're reading right now are quarterbacks you can win with, meaning like they're good enough to win games with. But the separate list, which we're about to get into now, is quarterbacks that win you games just because they're your quarterback and because they're that good. So starting off is Josh Allen, and I think that's a gimme. I mean, that's a given. You can't disagree with that one.
Layup.
Yeah, Joe Burrow. I mean, look at how quickly he turned around the Bengals. Like, that's a layup. Now, Lamar Jackson, I slightly disagree with, actually.
So I disagree with this because if Dak Prescott's on the win with, then so is Lamar Jackson.
Yes, I completely agree with that. That's
like I don't think Lamar. I would take, if I was starting an NFL team, I would take Dak over Lamar, honestly, because Dak's a better passer.
I would too. Oh, I 100% would too. Yeah, I know Lamar is fun, but
I mean also too, like for long term, like he's gonna slow down.
Yeah, eventually. His longevity is not there if he gets beat up.
I mean, he did win. I remember he won that Colts game. That he put the team on his back for that one. Put his team on his back for like one playoff game, but all in all, like he's a system guy. I really do. I really think that that he relies on that running system, and I don't know. I don't think that he belongs with the other guys on this list.
I don't think so either. I think if any of them stick out, well, then maybe one more, but I think he sticks out like a sore thumb on this list. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, moving down the list. Next is Patrick Mahomes.
Duh.
Yeah, he wins you games probably more than anybody on this list. Even Derek Carr. That's okay. Maybe that one's a little bit up for debate. I would say I'm leaning towards yes. I agree with it because he hasn't always had like a fantastic roster of skill players around him, and they've still been decent.
Yeah, but they've lost a lot under Derek Carr.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, it's like they've never really been fantastic though with him.
I view Derek Carr and Dak as very similar quarterbacks in terms of tier. Like
I do too. Yeah, I would put Dak. I would honestly put Dak above Derek Carr.
Yeah. So if I would too. So if Derek Carr and Lamar Jackson are on this list, I'm just bringing up Dak because I think that's egregious. I think he just wanted to piss off Cowboys fans. then he's on this list too, 100%. I mean, there was times where he's a top 5 guy last year.
Yeah, no, definitely, I agree with that. And then next up, Justin Herbert.
Yep.
See, okay.
Oh no.
So you know me,
No,
I love Justin. I don't dislike Justin Herbert, but
yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes,
really
you do.
Don't.
You just don't like him because of Joe Burrow.
I don't like him because people compare him to Joe Burrow. Well, okay, I don't like.
What? Because he's better than him.
I like him as a person. You know, he's a fun guy. He's fun to watch, but I just don't like that he's good because I don't want him to be compared to Burrow. I want Burrow to take that crown in the draft class. No, he's not going to take the crown. Burrow's going to take the crown of the draft class. But okay, so here's my thing. Herbert, yes, he'll win you games, but I don't know if it's like definitively he's the one winning you the games or if you're winning with him as your quarterback. Because what have they done in the playoffs? Have they gotten to the playoffs?
No, but they kind of got. I mean, he kind of got fucked over by his team.
I know they got boned.
Remember that last game? Like, he put the team on his back. He was making winning plays left and right. It wasn't his fault at all.
See, that's of course I'm not like arguing that he should be on the other list. I think he should be on this list, but I think that there is room for discussion with Herbert on this one.
No, none at all.
I don't think this is a slam dunk.
He's so fucking good. That's that's a layup that he's on this list.
Bro, but his team is also
he's gonna be my
better.
pick for MVP. He's gonna be my pick for MVP this year.
He's not gonna win it, bro. You know why? Joey Burr.
No, I just don't think so.
No, I don't think Burrow's gonna win it either. But
probably, I mean, this is a 2-man race in my head.
Deshawn Watson.
Yeah. No. If he plays, Herbert and Allen, it's a 2-man race, and I think Herbert's going to win this one out. Because I mean, dude, the entire league. First of all, if you're going to talk about sports writers, the entire league's in love with him.
You're right,
and it's for a good reason. It's because he's fucking good.
He is good. I'm not denying it. I'm not arguing that.
In 5 years, we'll see who has more playoff wins. I think it might be Justin Herbert over Joe Burrow.
See, that's a good conversation, okay? We'll see about that one. Cause
that's how you got to compare those guys. Because honestly,
right.
when it comes to numbers, it's going to be Justin Herbert. He's just going to have better numbers.
Well, I mean, last year he barely had better numbers than Burrow.
Dude. Burrow...
But I don't disagree. Burrow. Like, Herbert is just a numbers monster. Like, he's just a machine.
He's the most physically gifted guy since Aaron Rodgers.
Herbert, I wouldn't disagree in the sense that Herbert's more physically gifted and just like natural.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think we've talked about this before that, you know, like in terms of the Burrow and Herbert comparison, that Burrow just has that it factor, that competitive, that X factor, you know, which is what makes him so elite. But I don't know, man, in terms of who's going to have more playoff wins, that's tough. I think that also just determines a lot on the surrounding factors within their team, you know, like how the line plays. Like if the Bengals had the Chargers offensive line from last year, they would have won the Super Bowl. And you can't tell me otherwise. Like you can't tell me otherwise.
Yeah.
They probably would have.
Outside of that line, outside of Slater, that line wasn't exactly stellar.
No, it wasn't amazing, yeah, but it was probably better than the Bengals, so
probably. As
90% of the leagues were. But no, I think that is an interesting thing to think about, you know, who's going to have more playoff wins. Because, I mean, that AFC is just absolutely loaded with young talent. Like Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, you know, Justin Herbert. Like, it's ridiculous. Now you got Russell Wilson in there too. Derek Carr. Fuck it, bro. Lamar Jackson. Dude, there's so much young talent in that division. It's insane. So, all right, let's not get too sidetracked. Let's continue down the list. Next up is Deshawn Watson.
Let's talk about him only in a football sense. I'm tired of this bullshit.
Well, I'm not gonna. Yeah,
okay,
no,
let's not bring up this.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna bring it up, but it's about football in the sense that I would put him on this list, but it's been a year plus since he's played a game, so
true.
I don't know if I would definitively say he's gonna be the same guy, but you know, I'm sure he's been working out and everything.
I don't know. I mean, he went 4-12 with the Texans his last year. The Texans went 4-12 without him.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, yeah.
I mean, but before that, I mean, he single-handedly won them the playoff games with that play against the Bills 2 years ago. So, I mean, there's that. But I don't know. That's also too is like the question is, like I said before, is if he's gonna play. Like we kind of don't know what the NFL is gonna do with all that. But he is electric. You can't deny that.
I mean, he's a great quarterback. Like he's awesome.
Fantastic quarterback.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think he belongs on this list, but he could drop out of it for me personally.
Yeah, I think he's a seesaw. He's a teeter-totter in terms of which one. But, I mean, hey, he's my Dynasty League fantasy quarterback, so
probably a good idea.
Need some production there. Speaking of, dude, are you down with Dynasty football, bro?
You got a spot open?
Dude, let's get it, bro. I'm trying to set up a new one.
Set up a new one?
Yeah, let's run it.
Definitely down.
Hell yeah.
I know JD would.
Oh, yeah, definitely, bro. Definitely. He would 100%. Yeah, we could even get, like, mostly GTD probably.
Yeah.
Depends. Because it's like, it's a years-long commitment. You got to be into it. Because I've been in this one now for 4 years, so.
Dude, of course.
Yeah, alrighty, though. Not to get sidetracked again. Next up on the list, we got Russell Wilson. I 100% agree with this one. I think that's a gimme as well.
Yeah, you kind of have to. Even though I do think the Denver Broncos are going to go 9-8 and miss the playoffs this year.
Yeah, probably.
I also side note, I put down my future on the Raiders to win the AFC West, 50 to win 300.
Oh, juice. Okay.
Yeah.
Over the Chiefs and the Chargers. Well, here you are talking about Mr. Herbert, and now he's going to win all these playoff games.
He's got a wild card to win the playoff games. It's fine.
I mean, you're right. He's probably that's where the Chargers belong anyway. That's where they always go. It seems like.
But it's my feeling. It's a little
gut feeling.
Tingling, yeah.
Right,
but yeah, he's proven with his time with the Seahawks that they've won a lot of games and went to the playoffs just because of him.
Yeah, definitely. And the next two are just absolutely 100% slam dunks. Cannot argue. Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, 100% will win your team games just because they're that good. And last but not least on the list is Matthew Stafford, which I agree with. I don't really have any complaints there.
I mean, yeah. Rams couldn't win the Super Bowl, couldn't get over the hump. First year with Matt Stafford wins the Super Bowl. So for that reason alone, he's in this list.
Yeah, 100%. And I can't really think of anybody off the top of my head that was left off either one of these lists, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's missing a lot of the year 2 guys, but they didn't really prove much.
Yeah, like Trevor Lawrence and shit.
And Zach Wilson.
On there. Yeah, but yeah, they won like 3 games, so or 2 games, so
yeah,
it's not like they did much to really be able to be judged on this list yet. But alrighty, I think that was fun. I like seeing that. I like talking about a little bit of that. Yeah,
it's a good old fashioned NFL debate.
We could get some good debates, but all right, we'll probably keep doing some random NFL offseason stuff throughout the summer. But for now, we're switching over to a little bit of baseball. Not so much any news or analytical stuff, but this is all about the slap heard around the world. Love that title, Elijah, in our notes. So if you don't know what happened, for those listening, Tommy Pham smacked the absolute shit out of Jock Peterson.
Can you play the video in case nobody's seen it?
Yes, actually, I will. Yeah, I'll bring it up. You go ahead and preface it.
Yeah, so when I got the headline, the ESPN alert of like Tommy Pham slapped Jock Peterson because of fantasy football dispute, I was like, oh, okay, so it was probably like in game. It was like a playful slap or whatever, like kind of like boom, haha, whatever. Had a good laugh. No, Tommy Pham snacked the ever living shit out of this dude, like Chris Rock style. Like Will Smith, Chris Rock is how hard of a slap this was.
All right. I've got it up. It's not a perfect angle, but
it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, this is the one that I've seen viral.
Yeah.
So they're kind of just talking, and then boom! Slaps the dog shit out of him.
Yeah.
Just watch that. Bam. His head cocks all the way back.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find it.
I can't believe Peterson just took that, too.
No, that was the only angle that I could find. No, I know. Yeah, he literally just like took it and then kind of nothing happened after that. I don't know. If I was Jock Peterson, I don't know if I would have just been fine with that.
I've been like, okay, we're fighting now.
Yeah, so I mean, like you said though, this was all over a fantasy football incident where basically Jock Peterson sent that disrespectful meme into the group text, and I saw the meme, and it was like, it was talking about the NL West with the Dodgers, the Padres, and the Giants, and it had the Dodgers. So there's like a logo above three people, and they were all throwing a weight and then catching it. And so for the Dodgers and Giants, they both caught the weight fine. But for the Padres, they threw up the weight and it landed on their head and like hurt them, and they were like the dumb one.
That's hilarious.
I mean, it's just I feel like that's just good fun, Like, what does that hurt? Nothing.
Also too, like of the fantasy football aspect, like Jock was just stashing players on the IR. And Fam was upset about that. It's also too, he was pissed off about it because like the amount of money they had in it. He said that him doing that was Jock Peterson fucking with his money, and just like, dude, chill out.
Yeah, it's like
it's fantasy football.
I'll never understand like how much money and what it's like playing in a league for that much money, but I mean, you gotta chill out. Like, it's all fun at the end of the day. It's just fantasy football. Like, I even do this last season, bro. I even had one of those experiences, not to where, well, almost, bro. Like, this one dude, bro. So it was going into the last round of playoffs, going into the finals, or I guess like the toilet bowl for one seed, the lowest seeds, and then the finals for the high seeds. And I texted my buddy who was in the toilet bowl, and I was like, hey, man, just letting you know, you have 3 people injured starting. Like, you might want to change your lineup so you don't automatically have to do the league punishment, which is the entire NFL combine. And he was like, oh, thanks. And then the other guy, I'm not going to name names, but the other guy who was in the toilet bowl got absolutely furious that I was like rigging the game, that I was like cheating. And he also said that, like, of course I was in the championship as the commissioner.
They always do that shit.
And he was like, of course you would, because we switched from ESPN to Sleeper this year. And he was like, you only wanted us to switch to Sleeper because you knew how to use it. And I'm like, bro, this is my first year using the app as well, my guy. Like, we're at the same disadvantage. So
it's pretty fucking easy to use.
Exactly. It's just different colors, different buttons. Like, so, and no, he literally though was like, he blocked me on everything, unfollowed me on all social media. Like, he refused to do the punishment, threatened to fight me like multiple times. And I'm like, bro, you got to grow up. And he didn't take kindly to that either. So, yeah.
I mean, how much money did y'all have in the league?
It was $20 buy-in. So nothing crazy.
Man.
Like, he was already going to lose the money, but he just had to have done the NFL Combine and post all the results.
Funny. That's not bad.
Media. Exactly. He just thought he only lost because I told the other guy to update his lineup.
Oh, to actually play the game?
Right? And I'm like, how am I cheating? And he's like, if you're going to do that, you should have to do that for every single person every single week. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry, I'm friends with this guy too. Like, and we just talk occasionally,
Yeah. I mean, I usually text people if they don't have a starting lineup. So I'm like, hey, you gonna set your lineup? Like,
yeah, like it's just I don't want them to be like later, like, oh damn, if only I'd set my lineup, like,
Yeah, well, I just like it when people play the game.
I like it when it's a fair game. Yeah.
So.
But yeah. Anyway, I forgot about that. That sent me down a loop.
Back to
Tommy Pham slapped
Tommy Pham. I just want to add. So he got suspended for 3 games. Honestly, thought even more because he smacked the fucking shit out of him.
It was hard.
And another one is that the commissioner of this league was Mike Trout. So I thought that was funny. And then he said they asked him about it. He's like, I'm not going to be commissioner of any league anytime soon.
So I saw Tommy Pham also said that Mike Trout is the worst fantasy football commissioner in the major leagues.
Well, kind of. You can't just let guys just stash a bunch of players on IR. Like, it's one IR spot. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you get.
Like 2 in max.
Yeah.
If it's like a keeper league,
I do. Yeah, if it's a keeper league. And then I just also want to share this today because me and my friends thought about this, is that for setting the draft order, is we all play putt-putt, and we fucking dress up in like full golf attire. Dress up in full golf attire, like bring our own putters, and lowest score, lowest to highest is how you do it.
I love that, actually. That's a great idea.
That's awesome.
I'm definitely down for that. See, I'm gonna try and do that in like my long-term league with my buddies from home, but then they're all gonna be like, "See, this isn't fair because you golf now," and none of them do. So I don't know though. It's
most
putt-putt,
of the guys. It's putt-putt. Most of the
yeah,
guys.
everybody does putt-putt.
Yeah.
But alrighty though, that's all for that crazy situation out of the MLB. Let's go ahead and round things out with a little bit of love it or loathe it. As we always do, Elijah, I'll go ahead and take the first four. I'll take the first set.
Okay. Stanley Cup Finals will either be lifted by the Avs or Oilers out of the West, and then the Rangers or Lightning out of the East.
Yeah, so overall, I love it. I think I'm pretty happy with the teams that ended up in the semifinals for the Stanley Cup. We're not big hockey guys, so we don't talk about it too much, but I felt like we had to kind of throw it in somewhere a little bit because, I mean, we're almost to the Stanley Cup Finals now, and we'll talk about that. We'll make predictions for that. But so, yeah,
Really?
Avs, I mean, they've been dominant for just seems like the past couple of years now for so long. Been just super dominant in the postseason. Had a couple scares from the Blues, but other than that, and then the Oilers, you know, it's good to see Connor McDavid succeed because every single year people are like, oh, if they don't win the Stanley Cup, Connor McDavid's going to leave, and he doesn't leave. He stays. But anyway, and then in the East, the Rangers, more than happy to see the Rangers in there. Just, you know, they haven't won a Stanley Cup in recent history that I know of, that I can think of. And then the only one I loathe is the Lightning. I like the fact that they've made me money betting on them, but I don't like seeing them continue to win. This is 6 out of the last 8 years they're here.
I put a future on the Lightning to win it all. 20 to win 45.
I mean, it's a smart bet, but I don't know. I think I would go with the Avs.
Yeah, they're only minus 115.
Yeah, that's pretty juicy.
And they're wagon, so.
Yeah.
All right. Sam Burns wins the Charles Schwab Challenge with a 38-foot putt in a playoff against Shotty Scheffler.
Dude, I love it. First off, gotta say I love it. So I was actually there in person. I went on Sunday with my dad. It was my first time ever experiencing a PGA event, and it was awesome. It was just so cool. Even though my favorite golfer, Justin Thomas, didn't make the cut. Will Zalatoris didn't make the cut. So some of my favorite guys weren't there to see. But I followed Jordan Spieth. I followed Tony Finau for a while. Followed Scheffler. So it was really cool. But, man, watching that playoff, I was there. I was on the 18th. I was watching the green. I saw the putt. And it was like, you know, both of their shots onto the green were about – I think Scheffler was like 20 foot out from the hole. And Burns was like 38 feet. So it looked like both of them were going to have to two-putt it, and they were going to end up at par, and we were going to move on and continue the playoff. But nope, Burns steps up and just absolutely drills it from the fringe, like one of the weirdest paths, and it was crazy. Crowd went wild, and then all the pressure was on Scheffler, and he choked. So Burns outshot Scheffler by 7 shots on the final day, so he definitely deserved it. So, yeah, I love it. It was pretty cool to see that.
Yeah, that's dope. The Washington Commanders' new stadium will only have 55,000 seats. Smallest in the NFL.
So I'm loathe this, obviously, just because it's stupid. But I've seen, like, the pictures of their newly designed, and it looks pretty sweet. It looks cool. But why? Like, how many seats did their old stadium have? Do you know?
I think, like, between, like, 80, 90,000.
That's ridiculous.
No, 55,000 is like for a smaller D1 program. Like TCU's alone is like 45, 48.
Yeah, like 46 and a half, I think, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, so like basically like barely more than TCU.
Who has 9,000 total students.
Yeah, and this is a professional football organization in the capital of America.
Like, I don't get it.
I don't get this at all.
The Northern Virginia area is huge, and they're rolling with the 55,000 seat stadium. Like fucking Lubbock, Texas, with Texas Tech, it's gonna have a bigger football stadium than an NFL team. That's absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, they seat 60,000, and their stadium's not even like that big. Like you wouldn't guess that it seats 60K, but it does.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
that's weird. If they're going to be spending this much money on a stadium, why not make it big? Like, I don't know, whatever.
It doesn't make sense. Probably just upsell ticket charges, but
yeah,
whatever. Real Madrid wins the UEFA Champions League final 1-0 over Liverpool.
Yeah, so I love this. Kind of ironic because I am a Premier League fan, and usually it's nice for your league to win the major cups just so your league looks better. But fuck Liverpool. I would have rather seen pretty much anybody else in the world other than Liverpool win that actually had a chance. But it was a very entertaining Champions League this year. Very happy that Real Madrid lifted it. Not that I'm a Real Madrid fan, but they deserved it. They had a much, much harder path than Liverpool. Liverpool had to beat, I think it was Porto and Villarreal, while Real Madrid had to beat PSG and Chelsea. So much harder path. And so they deserved the to win the championship, and they did. 1-0 with a Vinicius Jr. goal. Kind of a slow, boring final, but most Champions League finals are underwhelming. So it was just nice to see anybody but Liverpool win. So, all right, switching gears now. I'm firing off to you. First up, we got John Madden will be on the cover of Madden 23.
Yeah, I love it. I think we all kind of knew this was happening, but it's definitely the right call.
Yeah.
And it's going to... I think it's also kind of shitty that they're doing this because I'm definitely going to buy Madden this year, and this is going to coax a lot of people into buying Madden this year because he's on the cover. But at the same time, they're honoring him. This game is his namesake. It's the first time since 2000, which released in 1999, that this happened. So the first time in 25 years that, basically. So that's super cool. So cool. Yeah, love it.
All right. Then next up, this is not sports related, but we have to throw it in there. We might as well talk about it a little bit. Johnny Depp wins his trial against Amber Heard. I did not know about this until you threw it in our notes, so please enlighten me.
Love it. So Johnny Depp won, which was, I thought, because all the legal experts, because I didn't keep up with it like step for step like some people were. Like I just wasn't into it that much. Mm-hmm. But I read a little bit, and they were like, well, Johnny Depp's probably going to lose because cases tend to more side with women like this. And then just a couple other things that they pointed out. But then Johnny Depp won. Amber Heard is definitely one of the craziest women, or people, not women, people on the planet. And that's pretty evidenced by this trial. So it's just good to see the hashtag Justice for Johnny worked out, and our boy wins. Jack Sparrow wins.
Yeah, exactly, dude. That whole thing was nuts. Yeah. Alrighty though, and next up, back to sports, football related. David Njoku signs a 4-year, $56.75 million extension with the Cleveland Browns.
I love that. Why?
Yeah, that's ridiculously overpaid.
Just for potential, the same reason he was drafted and didn't produce.
Yeah, he's good, but his skin is made of paper, his bones is made of glass. I think he's good. I think he's pretty solid. Whenever he could actually play, but that's not 10% of the time.
Not $15 million or $14 million a year.
No, definitely not. No, that's way too overpaid. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then, all right, last but not least on our list for today is Jalen Brown becomes the first NBA player to join Kanye's new marketing firm.
I love it. I didn't even know Kanye had a marketing firm, but I'm all about it.
Same. Let's go. Just because it's funny. He can, I remember my friend was asking me, he was like, yo, since when did Kanye get into sports? I'm like, dude, I don't fucking know. I guess now.
It's kind of, I don't know. Maybe it turns out well because Jay-Z's Rockefeller Sports is actually a really good agency.
Yeah, it's one of the preferred ones amongst especially the younger athletes. Yeah. But alrighty though, that is gonna be it for this week's episode. Of course, we're gonna be keeping up with the NBA Finals throughout the week. And also forgot to mention this at the beginning of the episode. Go ahead. We're setting everything up right now. Been working in the process of everything. But join the Chalkboard app. Download the Chalkboard Sports app. Join the Going the Distance Sports group. We're going to be talking sports, talking all of our bets, just everything in our little community on there. So go ahead and join that. You can find that. Search up Chalkboard, or you can find it on our social medias. But yeah, alrighty. Elijah, you got any last words? Anything to say?
Nope.
Alrighty. See y'all next week. Peace, everybody.